What is your name?
My name is Dixie Mosier-Greene.
Being involved with headquarters over so many years, sure the changes are just crazy that they've done to it. Can you kind of explain the evolution of headquarters as a place over the last 20 years?
Well, when I went to work, it was a 2-room suite. Our front door opened off the hallway of the Performing Arts Center. And that was great because whenever we needed to do a mailer, we simply opened the door, stepped into the stream of traffic, and started dragging people into the room. Except that our space was so tight that they would sit on the floor to do the mailer, and if I had to go from my desk to the photocopier, I would literally be stepping over bodies. Then, if you went across the hall, up half a flight of stairs, and into the concert hall foyer, under the balcony stairway was the workroom, which was probably 20 feet deep and 6 feet wide. And that's where Gwen packaged up all the jewelry as well as supplies, because we did all the jewelry sales. And the archives were through the foyer of the concert hall, into classroom 126 if it was vacant. Unlock the door at the back of the room, step down 1.5 feet onto sand. You were between the wall of the new concert hall and the wall of the old. So we have mortar trickling down. There is no humidity control, no temperature control. The place is full of dust. This was our archives. When Santa Fe stopped running passenger trains through, and then stopped even running freight through Stillwater, a couple bought the Santa Fe Depot and called it Stillwater Station Restaurant. Well, they went bankrupt. And they defaulted on their small business administration loan. So it went up for sale. But everybody knew the city of Stillwater was going to buy it, so nobody showed up. And there are a lot of these depots in Oklahoma that have been burned down, vandalized. You know, it's a shame. So a group of businessmen, 5 guys in Stillwater, bought it on a 30-day note, which means nothing down, everything due in 30 days. 2 of them were life members of the Alpha chapter, and one of them was Frank Evans, who had for 2 years been executive secretary of KKPsi Delta Sigma. Had nothing to do with this, just serendipity. Well, this is 3 weeks after National Convention. Well, as soon as we find out about it, David Solomon, who's executive director, goes and says, you know, we'd like to have it. And they said, fine, we'd like to sell it to you. But it's only going to be 23 months and 1 week until the next national chapter meeting. They have to pay for it in a month. So we called the national president of KKPsi, who was Stan Fink, who lived in Manhattan, Kansas. And Julie Coons was chairman of the TBS Board of Trustees, and for 1 more month, she was living in Shawnee, Oklahoma, 1 hour away. So they both drove into Stillwater, pulled in, went into the building, and they both looked around and said, wait a minute, haven't we had lunch here before? Well, yes. We bought it for exactly what they defaulted on the loan. This is right up there with the Louisiana purchase and getting a good deal. The building is in perfect shape. We've had absolutely no structural problems in 11 years. This was built to have railroad trains going on both sides of it. When we were in the Saratin Center, we had an auditor every year. She had to sit at a metal typing table where you pull up an arm, you know, pull up a thing, because there was no room. We never could have had chapter field reps, because where would we have put them? Well, we asked for donations to buy something for us. And Max Mitchell and his wife Susan, he's a former DSMM winner, donated their house in Stillwater. They lived in Fort Worth. And that became the CFR house, front and back. And then when we bought the station, now we can actually have chapter field reps. So we now have currently National Executive Director, Headquarters Administrator, National Accountant, Membership Services Coordinator, Publications Manager, and then 1 or 2 chapter field reps. So we've been able to evolve into a much bigger organization that's been able to deal much